Hey friends, welcome back to Seed and Sparrow Homestead. My name is Kelsey. If you are new here, this is the second week of the 2023 season garden tour. And I think there are a few changes from last week that we're gonna go ahead and check out. I also have a whole bunch of strawberry plants I need to get in the ground. I ordered 100, and I seem to be a bit overzealous at times when purchasing plants before the weather gets nice, because I just want all of the things. Now I have to figure out where to put them. So I have 75 plants that need to go into the ground tonight, so we're gonna work on that. I also, you can see all around here, I've got all of my plant starts that need to be watered. I need to get them outside. I am working on hardening them off. This is day 3. Typically I start the first day at 2 hours and then I increase an hour each day. So today they should be at 4 hours, so they need to get out there and get some sun, and hopefully I can start planting in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, and then things will really start happening in the garden. So let me get these watered, put outside, we'll take a little walk around, see what's going on, and then I'm gonna work on planting those strawberries. Is not really shining right now, so these will be fine if their leaves are a little wet. Otherwise, I mean, if the sun was really shining, I would not be doing this. I would allow them to dry off before I put them outside, but I'm not too worried about it with the time of day and the fact that it's really overcast. And that's actually perfect. I like to have them the first few days go out in overcast weather. I think it's just an easier transition for them. So I'm taking advantage of that right now. Okay, so all the plant babies are out, getting a little bit of some overcast sun. This is one thing I do not enjoy about seed starting, is this process of hardening off. It's kind of a pain in the hiney to have to lug these all in and out every day, but it is very important, so I do it. Okay, so a couple of things since last week. We actually had 2 frosts. It was a bit of a nail biter. Some of the blossoms on the apple tree didn't make it. They browned and fell off, but the majority of them are okay, so I'm thankful for that. Nothing else was really too damaged. I had a couple potato plants that had come up, and some of the leaves definitely got some frost because they're black and they've died, but that's okay. They will come back, they'll recover just fine. So thankfully not much else had started to bloom. A couple strawberries started to put off some blooms, but I think they're all okay. So hopefully now there's no more threat of frost. I looked at the 10-day forecast, which takes us into May, and unless we get something like super abnormal, it doesn't look like there's gonna be anything below about 45. And then towards the end of that 10-day forecast, it starts to get over 50 at night. So things are looking good. So I realized in last week's video, I forgot to put in the clip where I showed you all of the volunteer calendula. That's why towards the end of the last video, I showed you all of my seedlings started, and I said I didn't need any of the calendula because I probably have hundreds. And let me show you. All right, so all of the calendula that I had grown last year were in this spot, over in that spot, and over back there. And I mean, just look at them all. Sorry, I bumped the camera. There's so many. I'm gonna keep a few of them, but I do not need this many, and they're gonna choke out all of the other plants. So that is on my agenda, is to come through. I mean, there's some there, there's some there, whole bunch over there. I don't know if you can see all those little green things in there and over in there. All calendula. Something that I noticed, I believe, are these buds? I am not sure. I think they are. This is the columbine that I had planted from seed last year, and it never flowered last year. So I am waiting to see what these actually look like. But I think we've got some buds going on there, and one of my David Austins is budding up. This is Claire, or no, not Claire, Olivia Rose. That's what it's called, Olivia Rose Austin. But it's got tons of blooms. They're just everywhere. And this one is just absolutely magnificent. I can't wait to show you what this looks like when it's blooming. I didn't really see too much else happening. Over here, the liatris grew about another inch or so. It's amazing in the spring how quickly things take off. This oregano is just, like, look at the size of it compared to the cat, and she's a pretty fluffy cat. I don't see any, whoops, cat. I don't see any buds coming up yet on the yarrow. The milkweed has gotten a bit bigger, and the butterfly bush is starting to get a bit bushier. What else is happening? See, this is what happened to the blossoms. A lot of the ones towards the ground were very brown that morning, so we will see what happens. They'd been on there for a little while, so I'm not sure if they had already gotten pollinated. We'll have to see what happens there. Seeing these two lavenders, this one's still looking pretty good. This one is just not coming back as much, so we'll see how it does. I forgot to mention last week, if you watched one of my gardening videos a way back, I'll link it down below. I had planted a whole bunch of gladiolas. They're bulbs. Sorry, the cat keeps bumping me. I really wish she'd stop doing that. So they're all coming up nicely, all in through here. So we should have, I believe they're gonna bloom this year, so we should have a whole bunch of beautiful tall color in the back here. These are just getting much bigger. I don't think these have any. Maybe that is a bud forming. We shall see. But, ooh, back here, trying not to move the camera too fast. But the other rose bush here, the one that was just a store buy for like $4 around Valentine's Day, that has turned into this beautiful big plant. Got lots of buds on this one too. So hopefully all of the roses bloom at once. That would be amazing. We've got a lot of the strawberries are putting off flowers. So maybe another month or so, we'll see some strawberries. And the peony is bedding up as well. It's just also exciting. I love when flowers start blooming. It just makes my heart happy. I think I'm gonna have to come and prune back this St. John's wort. I don't want it to just take over my garden. It's becoming a little bit unruly. So I think I need to trim that one back. And then over here, this, I believe it's creeping thyme. It is just amazing. It's like a carpet, and I love it. And it smells like, I love coming through and rubbing my hands in anything with good scent, good aromatics. Yeah, that makes me happy too. So here is the Keyhole Garden Space week 2. We are almost finishing out April. It'll be May next week. Oh, I forgot. Back there. So I ordered some blackberry plugs from My Gardener. They came this week. This is not ideal. These pots really are not big enough for them and for the canes that they're gonna wanna produce and send up. But this is the only space that I had prepared. So they went in here, and I'd originally planned blueberries here, but I I wasn't thinking about it. I only got one variety of blueberries and they need multiple, you know, to cross-pollinate. So I'm gonna end up planting my blueberries with the other ones up front so they have those different varieties to pollinate with. Over here, something that I worked on this week, my husband just put in these raspberry supports and I just put the wire up this week. I actually heavily pruned this bed earlier in the season and I gave some of the canes away. And it is just, there's so many in here. I'm probably gonna have to come through and take some more out so they have some good airflow. But they're all just looking super healthy. They're starting to put off buds. So hopefully soon here we'll have some raspberries. Most of these, I couldn't remember last week, but I'm pretty sure I have 4 Heritage on this side. And on that, the further side over there, I have Joan J, which are a thornless variety, and I prefer them way more than the Heritage. Number one, I don't get, you know, cut up by them. But they also have these massive raspberries, and they, I think, are much sweeter too. So if you come across any Joan J raspberries, snag them. Here's the climber, and I don't think I have seen any buds on this one yet. This one I'm pretty sure sets buds a little bit later than the others. So maybe another week or two, we will see some buds on this guy. You can see in this strawberry bed, we've got lots of blooms. So hopefully in a month, we get some strawberries. So last year, I had 2 4x8 beds of strawberries planted. I think I ended up with about 20 pounds of strawberries that I harvested for canning purposes. I'm hoping to get more than that this year because I purchased another 100 strawberry plants, and I let them produce the first year. I never take the blossoms off, and they've done great. So that's just what I have done. But I probably could have gotten a lot more strawberries last year if my little guy, if Grant wouldn't be such a huge strawberry fanatic. He will literally park himself next to these strawberry beds and just go to town. He will be covered in strawberries, and I know he's already looking forward to the strawberries coming on soon. He often points at the bed and says, "Strawberries." Okay, some other stuff going on. I have one remaining cabbage plant that I'm just gonna let go, and we're gonna see how it does. I know I said last week I was giving up on cold weather crops, but now we're having a bit of a cold stretch again. For like the next 2 weeks, it's only like in the mid 60s, if that. So we have one of our local greenhouses opening this weekend, and if the prices are decent, I may purchase a few cabbages and plant them in a shadier spot and see how they do. I did plant in this bed here. I planted probably like 25 or so green bean plants or seeds. They have not emerged yet. The kale is still looking okay. I think I need to come in here with some fertilizer and give these guys some food. Carrots are looking good over here. They started to put on some of their leaves here. I need to come in and I need to thin some of these out. The onion bed I think is looking a little bit better. I'm gonna come in here with some fertilizer too, but you can actually see them a little bit better. They're starting to beef up a little bit and form some teeny tiny little bulbs in there, so I'm hopeful that they will make it. So this bed here, I said I had planted carrots in, but like literally nothing has come up. I don't see any in here, which is kind of disappointing, but also I feel like it was meant to be because I need a spot to put strawberries. But I know that strawberries and tomatoes aren't exactly friends, at least that's what I think. I know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm also not much of a rule follower in the garden. So maybe if I just leave a good enough space in between where I plant the tomatoes along the back there and the strawberries up here, maybe plant something in between them. That's a good companion to both of them. Maybe it'll be okay. Otherwise, I'm not totally sure where I'm going with all these strawberry plants. We will see. The peas are looking good over there. They grew another inch or two. Garlic's still looking good. Here you can see where the potatoes are, how some of them got damaged. Let me find a good one. See, he's looking a little sad, but there's still some good ones under there, so it'll recover just fine, but there is definitely some damage in and around there. A little bit concerned. The rose I planted here still hasn't put on any growth, so I'm gonna hit it with some fertilizer and we will see what happens. But thankfully David Austin has a good warranty on those, so I could always get it replaced. Okay, and if you haven't noticed, there's something different about the in-ground space. A few videos back, I had laid a whole bunch of straw with you all in that video, and I even said in the video, this is not something I've done before and I hope I don't come to regret it. And I definitely regretted it. I was told that there wouldn't be many seeds in it. And not many seeds to me is like, you know, a handful popping up here and there. Honestly, I could have taken the lawnmower over it. It was terrible. I don't know if I have a picture of it. If I do, I'll put it on the screen here. But I quickly picked it all up. I have it in the back. I'm gonna compost it, see if I can kill off whatever seeds remain, and then use it maybe next year for something, maybe another root stout bed. And I had to go through and pick out all of what I think were oat sprouts out of the ground. And I asked my husband to run and get me some more wood chips. So the wood chips went down and I am much more pleased with it, and even like the aesthetic look of it. So that is a change that happened in the last week as well. Funny thing is, I'm finding potatoes popping up all over the garden in various different beds that I don't have them planted in. And I just find it surprising because we redid this whole space last year, so all the dirt got shuffled around, and I guess there were a few spuds in that dirt. So we've got random potatoes, which I'm not complaining about. I'm just gonna let them go. Rhubarb's looking good. Asparagus is really doing its thing. I mean, look at the size of these guys. This is their second year after being started from seed, so one more year before I can really start harvesting from them. They're looking good. I did get in my 4 purple asparagus crowns. So I put 1 there, 2 over there, and 1 here. I had also ordered some elderberry, so I have the complementing pair here for pollination in the front under this arch. And then just 2 days ago, I decided randomly that I needed more space for flowers. So I dug up all the grass here, and I dug up all the grass here, and I picked up some of the, I guess like river rock, whatever you want to call it, from our pond area, and framed it in. So I'm gonna have a little bit more space for the abundance of flowers that I started. Not too much has changed in this area. I did plant 25 of the strawberries that I got in here. You can see the new ones there and there and there. So I filled in the spots where they didn't last the winter in this area, and up there in those 3. And then over here, you can still see I left some of the sunflowers. Someone had suggested trying to transplant them back into the space along the garage. Sunflowers don't like their roots disturbed, so I did attempt it because I was killing them anyways, but they did not make it. They were just under too much stress. So I'll just have to go through and plant more seeds back there if that's what I decide to do. I'm still undecided. I had the rest of my raspberry canes come in. I order a lot of my bare root berry plants from Norse Farms. I love them. They have these big, beautiful canes, really strong, healthy roots. for a really decent price. I think these were like $6, something like that, and they're just phenomenal. I mean, that's what these were last year, and they just go nuts. These two, like, you can't really even see them, and the cat's in the way, but these two, there's one little plug right there, and there's a little plug right here. These are from Emma Gardner, and I think they were either $6.99 or $8.99, and they didn't look the hottest. They were like teeny tiny little plugs. So we shall see how they do. But I'm really happy with Norse Farms. That's where I get blueberries, raspberry canes, and my strawberry plants. I was just walking over here near the blueberries, and I just found these. We got our first little set of blossoms. So that's exciting. I don't see any others yet, just that one plant. And then over here, I did finish off the walkway under this squash arch, or what will be the squash arch, with more wood chips. But that pretty much wraps up everything that is going on in the garden right now. I did order a metal raised bed to dismantle that one over there by the deck, so that should be here next week, and I'll work at taking this one apart and putting the other one together, filling it with dirt, and then transplanting everything in there. But yeah, everything seems to be going okay thus far. I just wanted to show you an example. This is that straw. I think it was oat straw. I think that's what is coming up here, not totally certain, but this isn't even that bad. Like, there's a lot of shoots coming up in here, and the cat keeps knocking me. This is nothing compared to what was happening in the walkways. Like, I literally could have taken the lawnmower over it, so not again. All right, you guys, that wraps up week 2 of the garden tour and what's going on here. I still have some strawberries I'm gonna go out and plant, and then when I'm done, I gotta bring in all my plant starts yet tonight. But I just want to say thank you for taking some time out of your day to join me here in the garden. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see you all Friday for my regular content. But I hope you all have a wonderful, blessed week. And I will see you next time. Take care. Are you gonna help me?
Yeah, Mama. Thank you. Hey. What?
Shoveling.
Awa. Awa. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't hit my plants. Be ouchie for the